Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Another movie review. The reviews are not necessarily the most popular thing that I've done. On my old channel, the original Corey Unlisted, I rocketed to almost 500 subscribers over a 3-year period by reviewing fast food and talking about my 2008 Generation 2 Prius. But tonight, we're going to be reviewing a Golden Globe nominated and Best Actor winning film, 2023, directed by Alexander Payne, The Holdovers, in which my wife begrudgingly watched this selection that I've been wanting to see with me. So we're going to dig deep and talk about this R-rated film in Technicolor, and it is a real 35mm film. It's starring one of my favorite actors, Paul Giamatti. Now, we've been married for
He's okay. I'm so sorry.
We've been married for over 11
really
years.
Offended that I said that.
What could you tell the audience? This is like a newlywed game right here. Can you name some other movies that are some of my favorite movies starring
There Will
Paul?
Be Blood. Oh, starring Paul Giamatti. I'm
That's
sorry.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
I know. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't let you finish. Starring Paul Giamatti.
Some of my favorite movies. Can you name?
Barney's Version.
Yep, that's one of them. You're doing good. And who does he play? One of my favorite.
That's literally the only other movie I could think of that he's
There's
in.
a movie that I keep extra copies of to give out as gifts. One of my favorite Paul Giamatti movies.
I don't remember
He
that.
plays one of the best folk heroes, Harvey Pekar.
Oh.
American Splendor.
How could I forget that? He plays Harvey Pekar? I
Yes.
forgot.
Yes, he
Okay.
plays Harvey Pekar.
I remember the character, but I don't remember him playing that character.
He stars in the other Alexander Payne movie, Sideways, which I find in abundance at the thrift shop. I don't know if that says anything about that picture. It was a big movie at the time when it came out.
You haven't seen it?
No, I own it, but I see it all the time at the thrift shop.
Oh, okay.
So, again, this movie directed by Alexander Payne. It has a 2-hour and 13-minute runtime. Color film, filmed in real 35mm Technicolor. And this movie was written by a guy. So, the director, Alexander Payne, came up with the initial idea, but then he turned to a writer named David Hemmingson. He was a writer for many beloved 90s television programs. He was a main writer on a TV show that my buddy Kyle loves called Pete and Pete, and one of my favorite childhood cartoons. He was a main writer for Pepper Ann. She's Too Cool for 7th grade.
He was a writer for that?
The guy that wrote this movie.
I love that cartoon. That was one of my favorites.
And then he was also a writer from the show Just Shoot Me.
Pepper Ann, marching.
But that he wasn't like the main
around
writer. Usually shows like that, they have a whole writing team. Okay, this is not why people turn into my reviews. But
I'm sorry,
that's
but
fine.
I need to sing it now.
Don't make me just start all over.
Pepper Ann, much too cool for
Okay,
7th grade.
so-
Okay, I'm done.
The movie is shot entirely in Massachusetts, and their location coordinator was a Massachusetts neighbor. Massachusetts neighbor. She grew up in Massachusetts, and the movie takes place in 1971. And Alexander Payne said it was easy to make a period film in New England because New England changes very slowly, so they didn't really have to do much to make it look period. 5 different schools were used to represent the fictional Barton Boys School that was shown in the film. So the boys' school is not real. It was made purely for the film.
Wow. I shut the movie. Shut the review off. I can't. That's unacceptable.
There was an original soundtrack. I did not write the soundtrack guy's name, but there's also a lot of 70s songs, Allman Brothers, Cat Stevens. So it was a good soundtrack. It was just a very, I don't want to say bleak because it's not a bleak movie, but like this movie is called a Christmas comedy. So it's very snowy and very wintry because of its New England in the wintertime. Again, Christmas season 1971.
70 and 71.
70 and 71 and 72.
Because they show New Year's.
Yeah, they show you New Year's 71 going into New Year's 72.
No, it was 70.
It's irrelevant.
Anyways.
It's a period film.
I'm sorry. Maybe you were right. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. It doesn't really matter.
The movie follows Paul Giamatti playing a prep school ancient history teacher, and a bunch of kids that can't get home for Christmas for various reasons are holding over at the boys' school for the Christmas vacation. And Paul Giamatti, for whatever reason, has to be the one. I liked the film because it's a film about kind of like friendship and kind of getting to know people better and kind of getting outside of your comfort zone. It really resonated with me because of the Paul Giamatti character went to this high school when he was a kid, and then you find out that he goes to Harvard, but then he ends up coming back to teach at the school, and it's just like this cocoon of comfort that he doesn't really leave, and he's stuck there. Everybody hates him. He's kind of a jerk, dishing out F's and D's like it's nobody's business. He was not a gracious teacher. Well,
it seemed like they deserved it, though, because the students were kind of goofing off, and
he didn't feel like they were
really
serious
care about
enough.
Learning the material. So.
He takes great pride in dashing someone's Ivy League school dreams by failing them in his class. That brings their GPA down to not get into.
When the kids are kind of jerks and
he has principles. He has principles because the headmaster wants him to compromise and give C- passing grades so the donors will not hold back funds for the institution. But
that's true.
The Giamatti character is multifaceted because he always says Barton men are honest and never lie, but then there's some stretching of the truth. And his character has really bad body odor, and he goes out of his way to explain it, and he has a lazy eye.
Yeah. If you're looking for a romance, there's not much of it in this film. Just FYI to all the ladies who like the rom-coms. If you're looking for comedy, it has a few funny moments, but it's kind of, I would say it's more of a drama.
So this movie was only in theaters for like 2 months. And it's like the darling of 2023. It's on every critic's top 10 list. Paul Giamatti won a Golden Globe acting award for his performance in this movie. And I think it won a bunch of other awards. It won like an AFI top 10 list. It's funny that the critics picked movies, but they're not really commercially successful. So this movie was only in theaters for 2 months because I really wanted to see it in theaters, and I waited, and then it was out on DVD already after 2 months. So the movie grossed $26 million at the box office in its brief little window that it was in theaters. However, Focus Features paid $30 million for the distribution rights. I don't know where they're making their money, but to me, that does not sound like it was a commercially successful film. Maybe it's because of its making its money back and streaming. I don't know. It was a good movie. It
could have maybe not been rated R. This could have easily been PG-13, but there were a lot of F-bombs in this movie. And then, if you love the F word, here you go. If you want some more creativity and you think there's other words out there, I don't know.
But wouldn't you say that the F word was just trying to show maybe the immaturity of the youth in a changing time? Because the Paul Giamatti character is kind of an older fellow.
This gal said it a lot as well.
She had some hard times.
And so did that guy.
I want to know, because we obviously didn't live through this time.
I'm just saying.
Were people dishing out the F-bomb in New England in 1971 like it's every other word?
And 1970. Well, yeah. And this character, she did go through a lot of hard times because you learn...
No spoilers.
Oh,
she had some tragedies.
Well, it's early on in the film that it happens. But anyways, okay, no spoilers. But yeah, what's cool is that it's basically about the relationship mostly between these three. I'm sure that's why they're on the cover. But there is a lot of character development because you kind of get to know their stories and like the past that each of them is coming from and why they act the way they do.
Yeah.
Because like in the beginning, you think this guy is just like
Agnes kid or the Angus Tully kid.
Like,
yeah. You think he's a jerk.
Yeah, you think like, okay, he's a lot like the other kids. Like he's just a brat. And he's like this privileged kid, and he just doesn't really try hard or doesn't apply himself. But then you kind of find out why.
Everybody has things they've gone through is like one of the main things in the movie, and I like that. And then I like the fact that, like I mentioned earlier on, it's pushing you outside of what you're used to maybe do something else.
Yeah,
and I really resonated.
That was a good theme, and also I thought it kind of touched on like how some parents are just like out of touch with what's really going on with their kids and stuff.
They're like, dumping him off at a prep school.
His parents are just like so clueless about what he's going through and like what he needs in his life and the support that he needs, and then through his unlikely friendship with the teacher
that
who everybody hated.
Yeah, everybody hated.
he ends up getting kind of more of that fatherly or parent relationship from the teacher, even more than he had like with his actual mom and his new stepdad.
So we're running long. I want to get into the ratings of the film. Like I said, this was like the darling of all the critics. 97% Rotten Tomato score, which is incredibly high. Even IMDb is, and very rarely do I see this type of a score. 8 out of 10 IMDb.
Wow. And
I think that I liked it, but it's not my favorite. I'm not going to give out those higher ratings. The 5s are reserved for like, this is an iconic film. It's like good.
Top Gun? Did you give Top Gun
I think
5?
I gave the new Top Gun movie 5 out of 5. But I'm going to go, this is a good movie, but it's not my favorite movie.
This is a one watch. I cannot see ever needing to watch this movie again.
I'm 4 out of 5 on it.
Unless, like, a friend came over and said, I really want to watch The Holdovers, then okay, I'll watch it again.
I'm 4 out of 5. Where would you be on this?
You know me. I'm 3.5 out of 5, and I'm sorry, but I gotta save the 4 out of 5s for the really good classics. Sleepless in Seattle. While You Were Sleeping, You've Got Mail.
The rom-coms of the 90s and early 2000s.
The rom-coms.
It's just not, it's not for you. Like I said, this movie is 5 out of 5 for most people in 2023. And I love Paul Giamatti, but it's not my favorite movie that he's been in. And I just want to sidebar, I feel like Paul Giamatti just acts like the same character in every movie that he's in.
He's always just like angry.
He's just himself.
Grumpy and depressed.
Yeah, you think of him playing Harvey Pekar, an angry guy. I don't know. Barney's version, he's not necessarily angry. Maybe he is at some points, but I feel like he just plays himself. Yeah. But, you know, he's great.
Some actors do that, though. But, yeah, he is a good actor. And if you like character development and you want to see a lot of that, then this is a good movie. A good movie for that, because the characters really do grow and change over time, which you don't always see in the modern movies. Sometimes it's very, like... just flat.
And 4 out of 5 is a respectable score.
3.5 out of 5 isn't that bad.
If you're moving into the 2s, that's trash. I'm watching a movie right now that's going to be a 2 out of 5, which tune in for that.
And why are you watching?
Because if it's a whole series that I talked about.
The Dirty Harry.
We'll get back to that. Magnum Force, up and coming, spoiler alert. It's not looking good.
Oh, no.
I'm only about halfway through it, though, so maybe my opinion will change.
I did go into this with a much lower opinion, thinking like, okay, this movie, like in the beginning, I thought this is so boring and I'm not going to get anything out of this. Like, I don't really want to watch this movie. And then by about halfway through, I was totally invested, telling all my kids, all right, get the heck out of here. I got to finish this film.
One final critique. I do not feel the haircuts were period correct all the time. And it bothered me. But I get OCD about that. We're running out of time, running out of space on the hard drive. Until next time.
You have a hard drive?
Not really, but my iCloud subscription expired because of my debit card thing, and I need to update it. We'll see you next time.
I don't think everyone needed to know that. But
thanks for watching.
Maybe you get it. Maybe not.
Comment, let me know what you think.
Let me know.
Most people don't.
You think it's worth it?
We're rebuilding a channel here, folks. Again, I'm like less than 20 subscribers now. We're in the ashes from my old channel. Rest in peace. It's still there if you want to watch the content, but follow the new channel.
Those of you who really love him, prove it. Follow us again.
Follow the new channel. Subscribe.
Follow this guy.
I have not migrated almost 500 subscriers yet from my old channel to the new, so we're waiting. Please.
You guys love watching him
Come
eat
on
for some
over.
reason. Watch this man eat food.
That's the main reason why I had almost 500 subscribers.
And watch movies.
The movie reviews, they're not usually the most watched videos that I've done. Anyway, until next time, we'll see you then.